to talk about narcissism. I divided representation into four main parts. First, I'm going to tell you about narcissism, and second, I'm going to show you the story of narcissism, and thirdly, we're going to talk about characteristics of narcissism, and lastly, we will look at the video. Narcissism is a self-centered personality style characterized as having an excessive interest in one's physical appearance or image and an excessive preoccupation with one's own needs, often at the expense of others. It has two types of narcissism. The first type is grandiose narcissism, and second is vulnerable narcissism. And about these two, we're going to look at in the video, in this information about this. The term narcissism comes from Roman poet Ovid's Metamorphoses, written in the 8th AD. Book 3 of poem tells the mystical stories of handsome young man Narcissus, who spurned the advance of many passionate lovers. When Narcissus rejected Nymph's Echo, who was cursed to only echo sounds that others made, the god punished Narcissus by making him fall in love with his own reflection in a pool of water. Unable to tear himself away, Narcissus drowned. A flower marked the spot of where he died, and we call that flower Narcissus. There are three types of characteristics. The first one is normal and healthy level of narcissism. In the story of psychology, a healthy, modest amount of narcissism has been viewed as an essential component of mature self-esteem and basic self-worth. In essence, narcissistic behavior are systems of intrapersonal and interpersonal strategies devoted to protecting one's self-esteem. The second one is destructive levels of narcissism. High level of narcissistic behavior can be damaging and self-defeating. Destructive narcissism is a constant exhibition of a few of the extent characteristics usually associated with pathological narcissistic personal disorder. Lastly, third one is pathological level of narcissism. Extremely high levels of narcissistic behavior are considered pathological. Freud's idea of narcissism described as a pathology that manifests itself in an inability to love others, a lack of emptiness, boredom, and an unremitting need to search for power. And we will look at the video.
Definition of narcissism is an inflated, grandiose self-image. To varying degrees, narcissists think they're better looking, smarter, and more important than other people, and that they deserve special treatment. Psychologists recognize two forms of narcissism as a personality trait: grandiose and vulnerable narcissism. There's also narcissistic personality disorder, a more extreme form, which we'll return to shortly. Grandiose narcissism is the most familiar kind, characterized by extroversion, dominance, and attention-seeking. Grandiose narcissists pursue attention and power, sometimes as politicians, celebrities, or cultural leaders. Of course, not everyone who pursues these positions of power is narcissistic. Many do it for very positive reasons, like reaching their full potential or helping make people's lives better. But narcissistic individuals seek power for the status and attention that goes with it. Meanwhile, vulnerable narcissists can be quiet and reserved. They have a strong sense of entitlement, but are easily threatened or slighted. In either case, the dark side of narcissism shows up over the long term. Narcissists tend to act selfishly, so narcissistic leaders may make risky or unethical decisions, and narcissistic partners may be dishonest or unfaithful. When their rosy view of themselves is challenged, they can become resentful and aggressive. It's like a disease where the sufferers feel pretty good, but the people around them suffer. Taken to the extreme, this behavior is classified as a psychological disorder called narcissistic personality disorder. It affects 1 to 2% of the population, more commonly men. It is also a diagnosis reserved for adults. Young people, especially children, can be very self-centered, but this might just be a normal part of development. The 5th edition of the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual describes several traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder. They include a grandiose view of oneself, problems with empathy, a sense of entitlement, and a need for admiration or attention. What makes these traits a true personality disorder is that they take over people's lives and cause significant problems. Imagine that instead of caring for your spouse or children, you use them as a source of attention or admiration. Or imagine that instead of seeking constructive feedback about your performance, you instead told everyone who tried to help you that they were wrong. So what causes narcissism? Twin studies.
Now let's do a quiz. What punishment did narcissists receive by rejecting ego? God punished narcissists by making him fall in love with his own reflection. Second, what are 2 types of narcissism?
Grandiose, vulnerable.
Thank you.